When you have a part that's being used in a SOLIDWORKS assembly, SOLIDWORKS automatically creates pointers, otherwise known as references that associate the part with an assembly file. That way, if a part file ever changes, it can automatically update in the assembly. This associative behavior is usually desirable, but there are times when you might want to disassociate a part from an assembly. To do this, you must break the pointers, or references. One way to do this is by saving a separate copy of the file, which will not be referenced by the assembly file. Here we have an assembly with 4 components, but I want to use this rounded edge bracket to begin a new assembly. Now, as I just mentioned, we're going to have to create a separate file for the bracket, so I'll begin by opening the part. To save a copy, I'll go to File and Save As under the Save As dialog box. I'll make sure I'm saving the part under the correct directory, and I'll give our bracket a new name. I'll call it Rounded Bracket Copy. Before clicking Save, make sure to select the checkbox Save as Copy. I want to point out that this step is extremely important. This option will create an identical but separate part file, which is what we're looking for. If this option is left unchecked, the part is simply saved as, and instead of being saved as a separate file, we'll replace the part in the original assembly. I'll make sure the checkbox is selected, then click Save. When I return back to the assembly, notice that no changes have been made, and the original rounded bracket part can still be found under the Feature Manager tree. However, at this point, if I view our working directory in Windows Explorer, notice a new copy of the part file was saved. Now I can go ahead and open it. And from here, begin a new assembly or make any changes to the part. To prove that there's no reference between this bracket copy and the assembly, I'll go ahead and make a change and save it. When I switch back to the original assembly, notice the change is not updated, since the rounded bracket referenced in this case is a completely separate part. Oh, one more thing. Remember I stressed the importance of the Save as Copy checkbox. Let me show you what happens when this option is left unchecked. I'll Save As again, and rename the part to Rounded Bracket Copy 2. And this time, I'll make sure to leave the Save As Copy checkbox unselected before clicking Save. Now, when I switch back to the assembly, notice what happened. The original rounded bracket part was replaced. Now, in order to prevent confusion, I highly recommend using the Save As Copy option whenever creating a copy of a part.